Hi guys, in this video I'm going to help you a little bit with problem 3. This is an AP review problem, and I want to apologize if you hear drilling because they're drilling outside my window, and I just, they do it all the time, so I guess we're just going to have to live with it. So sorry about that. Anyway, in this problem, it's like a lot of these problems, you're going to either be required to sketch a graph, or you're going to want to sketch one just so you can, more easily figure out the answer. So first, let's look at the problem, which is here, and we're going to look at 3 markets. So actually, that's not the right one. Sorry. Number 3. Yeah. Here we go. Assume that bread and butter are complementary goods. Okay, now what does that mean? That means that if the demand or if the price of one goes up, then the demand for the other one is going to go down. Because if you buy less bread because the price has gone up, you're going to buy less butter. That's what we know about complementary goods. So now let's see what's going to happen. The government begins to subsidize the production of wheat, which is an input in the production of bread. So if the cost, what that's going to do, if you think about it, is a subsidy in the production is actually going to make producing it cost less for the producers. So if we sketch graph of the wheat market, let's see, what it's asking you to do is for each of the following markets, draw a correctly labeled supply and demand graphs and show the effect of the subsidy on the equilibrium price and quantity in the short run. So we want to show the change in either supply or demand, and we want to show how that's going to change the equilibrium price and quantity in a graph. So this is just a basic graph right here. The blue is the supply, of course, and the red is the demand. So this is our wheat market, and we know that if the cost of supplying a wheat or producing a wheat is going to go down because of a government subsidy, that's going to shift our supply curve to the right. So we're going to look something like this. It's going to shift, and then you can see what's going to happen to our quantity and our price at equilibrium. Okay, so you can sketch that graph. Now, so you simply apply this same kind of reasoning to the other scenarios, and let's see what they are. The second one is, okay, so what's going to happen if, to the bread market? Okay, well, in the bread market, since the cost of supplying wheat has gone down. We've shown that here, and that's going to make the cost of supplying bread, which is a product that uses wheat as one of its major inputs, that's going to also cause your supply curve to shift, as you can see down. So, just thinking about what happens in these markets is going to help you guys. Now, and the last one is what's going to happen in the butter market. Well, in the butter market, we're looking at demand, because if the quantity if the quantity supplied for bread and the actual equilibrium quantity for bread goes up, so if we're going from here to here, so that our price goes down and our quantity goes up, then in the butter market, because people can buy more bread buying more bread for a lower price, then the overall demand for butter is going to shift out to the right. Okay, So that's how that's going to work. So you want to draw all those graphs. And then part B. Let's look at part B. If the demand for bread is elastic, if the demand for bread is elastic, how will total revenues for the bread producers change as a result of the government subsidy? Okay, so if we go back and we draw an elastic demand, so let's scoot this out of the way, and let's make our demand very elastic, so it's more of a flatter curve. So this is going to be the demand for bread. And then if we shift our supply curve to the right here, we can see that the more elastic that this is, the less effect it's going to have on a price, and the more effect it's going to have on quantity demanded and supply. So in other words, if we make this even more elastic, we go like this, we can see that then as we shift out, price changes very, very little, but the actual quantity changes more as this demand curve gets more and more elastic. So when price doesn't change by a whole lot and quantity changes by a whole lot more, that means that, and when I say change, we're talking about the price going down. So a price going down is going to make total revenue go down. Quantity going up is going to make total revenue go up. So if quantity goes up more than price goes down, then think about what that's going to do to total revenue with an elastic demand curve here. Okay? Now, let me just make sure I got that right. Let me make sure that I said that right. If the demand for bread is elastic, how will total revenues for the bread producers change as a result of the government subsidy? So you just think about, well, the government subsidy is going to move the supply curve out to the right, and then you can just think about how a very elastic demand curve is going to affect price, the relative changes in price and quantity. Okay, and that should help you with problem number 3. All right.